Hey, welcome back, guys, to my YouTube channel. This is Mr. Optimistic, and this is day 2 of the 4-week training cycle. It's a lot of volume, a lot of higher percentages in the 85 to 90% range. This is gonna be rough. Now, my body at this moment in time, it's about an 8.5 in terms of soreness. Obviously, I took an Epsom salt bath, I stretched a lot, drank a whole lot of water, but woke up, I would say, at about a 9. But again, it feels great. It feels great because you're putting your body through a lot of stress, and stress promotes growth. So right here, we're just working up to heavy 3 with a little bit in the tank. So 105 felt good. Just a little, again, trying to stay upright, man. That's, I would say, the biggest opportunity for me is just staying upright in the catch to get a more efficient bounce. Again, I'm trying to build my tank up, or engine, I should say, in terms of just getting those reps out, just knocking those out. That was a good place to stop on my 3 heavy. So just to this day, actually, I was running short on time because me and my fiance, I have a fiance, by the way, cool. We looked at a couple of houses, and basically that took up a majority of the day. So I usually train in the morning, but we were basically driving around like the Pomona area, looking around for some houses, and that was from about 11 in the morning to about 4 p.m. So just got a lot of work done, but other than that, still had to get the lifting in. And we had about 5 different sets to do. Basically, some of them were not my favorite, and they were very humbling. And we implemented some pressing movement, which you'll see later in the video. But that was some heavy pulls. Really, like, today my lats just feel flared. It feels great. It's kind of feels like you're walking with like 2 big pillows underneath your arms and just all puffed out. So those big lats really help in the pull. So anytime you're pulling, you obviously want to keep those lats nice and tight, so it holds the bar, opposed to your arms being more engaged than you need them to be. That's where you would see a lot of bicep curl to the finish, is what one of my coaches says. But you want everything fluid, everything snappy, and that's why you want those lats to stay engaged. So these are the heavier pulls. We got, I think these were like 5 sets of 5. I don't have the workout in front of me, but this 5 sets of 5 was just ridiculous. Just trying to keep that consistent finish. Anytime I do these, I try to keep the arms nice and long. But, fatigue comes into play, but that's all we can do is try our best there. It was a little funny because when I was doing these, I just felt myself going forward a little bit. And, I was looking at my competition video, and I was actually I was jumping forward about 4 inches in the finish. So that's pretty consistent of not keeping that upright torso during the pull. So anytime I was starting, I was trying to keeping my abs engaged and keeping my chest up. A good cue I like to tell people is think of a big giant hook underneath your rib cage and it pulling you up. But at the same time that's happening, you need to tighten those abs, because if you just do that while you're sitting, you'll feel just emptiness, essentially, because obviously you're not activated, so your posterior chain is just weak and soft. Obviously you don't want that, because if you try to catch 300 pounds, it's just gonna crush you. So that thought process of keeping your abs engaged and your chest up is very important, obviously, when you get to a max clean. But it was very tiring. I was trying to move as quick as I could, but these back-to-back days sometimes are a little stressful on the body. But again, that's what the sport's about. You just got to keep on moving on. Another thing that was incorporated, which was fun, is we did some Arnold presses. Haven't done those in a very, very long time. But, while I was doing those, I couldn't fit them in this video since I was short on time. But the morning after, which is supposed to be like I call it an active rest day, trying to do some bodybuilding movements. But while I was doing that, my shoulder slash lats were a little stiff. So that means all those pulls were mostly done correctly because I was actually engaging the lats. So I don't know if you ever felt, I'm sure you have, but when you activate the lower lats, oh man, the next day you're just like, it just feels like you are forced to stay upright because if you slouch, then that lower lat starts creeping up on you a little bit and just prompts you to keep your posture up. But some of the good takeaways, at least for this day, was that doing these strict presses that are coming up right now were very humbling. And I haven't done these in a very long time. And it's funny because I can put 300 plus pounds overhead, but these strict presses, man, they are just straight out humbling. I was struggling for a good bit, and it just brings me back to my other coach from 8 years ago. Was he put these during a strength cycle, because obviously you need some good pressing movements thrown into there. So when we did this, everybody was just laughing because everybody was like trying to rep the bar, and people were just sweating. It was like 5 sets of 10, and everybody was just like shaking, and all the guys who did like the 300-pound jerks were just barely repping out this bar, and it was pretty bad. But I do appreciate the fact that we actually mix things up opposed to always just drilling the main movements, because it mentally refreshes things. And I pride myself on like, oh hey, I can just kind of just grind like year over year on these movements. But yeah, it gets a little you get mentally fatigued, kind of just like anything else. It gets too monotonous, and mood kind of changes a little bit, and it gets a little hard to go to the gym. And that attributes to a lot of people falling out of the sport. But this is really good, and I mean, it's just week 1, of course, but already just feeling great. Again, the body weight's staying around the 203. Right now I was told not to restrict any calories, so we're gonna see how that goes. Doesn't mean to go eating crazy, but just trying not to be too much at a deficit so we can kind of get everything built up good. But it's really gonna pay off. It's just stick to the program and keeping everything in. And this is actually day 2 programming that I had to fit on the beginning of day 3. So I just want to end with thank you again for watching to the end of this video. Make sure to like the video, comment. Any questions, I would love to answer them to the best of my ability, and if I don't know, then we'll both learn together. Make sure to send any videos that you have. I would love to critique them. I have over 10 years of experience in the sport, and I have a lot of different critiques to throw at you if you get confused, or you are stumped on a certain lift, or just want something to kind of change your perspective on any of the lifts, because I know sometimes it gets a little monotonous. But I'll end on that, guys. So until next time, I'll update you on the next video. I'll see ya. Bye.